Hey guys, it's Luca here from Uncovered, and in today's video I'm going to be going through how we took this creator to $62,499 in 1 week. So we'll get straight into the video. As you can see here, this creator for the last 7 days has netted $62,499. Gross earnings is about $78,000. Pending balance is sitting just above that $60.5 thousand. And before we get into anything, because everyone on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram groups likes to fake results and everything, we'll pull up inflow here. So I'll refresh this for you live. As you can see, last 7 days, 62,485. So jumped up by 45 or $40 while I'm recording. Again, refresh it again, just to prove to you guys that it's fully legit, but perfect. So how did we actually do this? Again, a lot of agencies can't fathom or can't understand what goes into the back end of an operation, for example, to scale to this amount in 1 week. So how do we actually do it? First thing, onboarding the creator. So upon signing the creator, number one, before anything else, is onboarding. What does onboarding actually mean? So with any creator that we take on in our agency, our onboarding process at this point now is completely automated. So from the point of signing the creator, receiving the signed contract back after the call I had with her, she was placed within my team to begin onboarding. In onboarding is extremely simple, but can also, just because it's simple, can also be messed up like it has done for us in the past extremely easily. What goes into onboarding? Number one, you need to have specific onboarding documents. What do the onboarding documents actually do? Our onboarding documents allow us to find out everything about the creator, her habits, her personality, what she enjoys filming, what is her why is she doing this, what content she enjoys the most, what her limitations, what her boundaries for the chatting side of the team, and then also for the marketing side of the team, different things, her room, different assets she has, different things she has to her disposal to allow us to strategize and set her roadmap in place. Now, those get sent to the creator by our operations team. Once the creator fills them out, those go automatically to our Notion and a backend database where we have everything linked. As a team, we're able to go through everything and understand what are the key things that we can put in place and help move. From there, what we do with every new creator that we take on is we schedule an onboarding call. In that onboarding call, the creator will specifically talk with someone in my team, typically our marketing manager, and what he will do specifically is get to know more about the client, because at the end of the day, they're going to be working together and they're going to be filming, etc., improving her content essentially. So getting to know the client, getting to know, again, where she enjoys filming, what content she enjoys filming, what's going to be easy for her to film, and just making her feel part of the team. With any creator that we take on, our main focus is keeping that team unit and understanding that this is a team and we're growing together as a team. And with any client that we take on, that's one of our core values and our core focuses, because at the end of the day, on both parties, if the agency isn't providing a good enough service, is not providing traffic, is terrible at chatting, or is terrible at marketing, it doesn't work. Same way as a creator, if a creator isn't providing content, we can't do our job as an agency. So our goal is keeping that unity and keeping that team. So once onboarding is done, what happens next is branding. So once we figured out what the creator's interests are, where she can film, what equipment she has, we need to figure out how do we brand this creator. Now, in my opinion, each creator has a one-of-one or a specific brand that she can fit and make the most use out of or have the most potential in. Now, when it comes to branding, a lot of agencies do like to put creators in boxes. For example, a teacher niche, a flight attendant, basketball player, football player, all these different niches, which isn't authentic as the model. And one of the main things that we focus on is being authentic, because at the end of the day, your subscribers, your audience, although they're OnlyFans subscribers and all of that, don't get me wrong, it's very easy to see through a fake brand, and it's very easy to see through bullshit essentially. So our goal with branding is to understand who is the creator and help bring out her personality as much as possible. Because by bringing out her personality, we're able to resonate with the guys who genuinely want to subscribe to get to know the client or get to know the creator, And the more we bring out that personality within her brand and have verticals that go down within that total overall branding, the more diverse and the more fluid we're able to be with our content ideas and our content strategy. Because again, for example, if you're filming for a specific brand like office niche or car girl niche, basically you're limited to just that environment. And yes, in some cases that really benefits creators, but in other cases it also really limits creators. So our goal with each client is to understand what is their brand, how can we maximize bringing out their personality, and how can we do that in a viral sense? So how can we do that and actually get traffic and get sales and get results at the end of the day? But next part is marketing roadmap and strategy. So once you've onboarded the creator, once you've identified what is their branding, now comes what is her roadmap working with us and what is her strategy. So with any client we take on, we like to keep them completely in the loop so they know at all times what is going on, what are we working on, and what is the goal. And again, we want to work together to hit that goal. So when it comes to the roadmap, within your roadmap, whether it's a 6-week, an 8-week, a 10-week roadmap, in that roadmap, there are specific checkpoints that should be met within a specific time frame to know that you're on track to hit that goal within 6 weeks or 10 weeks, for example. The strategy is obviously one of the key things that comes into the roadmap. So going into actually marketing this client, she had 1,500 followers, I think it was, on Instagram, no Twitter presence, no Reddit presence, and essentially completely from scratch when it comes to marketing. Now, obviously, in some cases that poses a challenge. In other cases, that means there's insane room for growth. So when it comes to our strategy, we identified which platforms we want to use, what content we would require for those platforms, and how we could stand out. Because one of the most important things when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, when it comes to just going viral on any social media platform, is you need to have that ability to stand out. Because if you don't have that ability to stand out, as most creators experience and most agencies experience, you're just within the sea, within the pool of all these other creators, copying all the same trends, doing all the same things that everyone else is doing. And your goal is to get out of that. The more you're out of that kind of pool or bucket of whatever, you're able to set trends, do things differently, go insanely viral, and obviously reap the rewards, reap the fruits of that labor with your traffic, with your sales, and with your dollars at the end of the day. So the strategy with this creator specifically was, number one, we had to really work on understanding how to improve her content. Again, she didn't come to us with a big social media presence or a big social media following. So our main focus was, how can we perfect content? Because at the end of the day, a lot of agencies love to overcomplicate what it actually is that we're doing as an agency and what is the key needle mover as an agency. The key needle mover is, how can we get this content as good as possible in any different metric, whether it's good in a viral sense, good looking sense, good in a standing out sense, good in a sales sense. How can we get this content looking as good as possible so that we're happy with posting this content on this specific platform, knowing that this piece of content will lead to results? And the perfecting of content is a skill that we really focus on within our marketing department, within each of our clients, because at the end of the day, the better we can get at producing content, the more traffic we can get, the more sales we can get, the more money both parties make. So our primary focus is, how can we actually improve this client's content? So going into strategy in our platforms, number one, we broke it down to 3 platforms. So there's X, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. We focus on just these 3 platforms. With other creators, we focus on other platforms, but with this client specifically, we focus on 3 platforms. Now, she had, again, 1.5 thousand followers on Instagram, 0 on X, and again, none on Reddit. So what did we actually start with? Going into everything, we understood that Instagram is obviously the biggest leverage point. With every creator, with every agency, everyone obviously goes on about Instagram, and in reality, Instagram is the best. Nothing will beat Instagram. Nothing will go as viral as an Instagram reel will if you know what you're doing. So Instagram is the most key leverage point. But also, as an agency, our service to our clients, we can't rely on going viral in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months. As a business, it simply does not make sense for us to say to a client, onboarding them, saying, hey, amazing working together. By the way, it's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks before you actually see the value of our service because of Instagram accounts. We will need to warm your account up, launch new accounts, go viral, then it needs to convert. All these things that go towards with Instagram. So just relying solely on Instagram, one, is stupid, and two, means you have an inferior service to agencies that are able to bring traffic from Twitter or able to bring traffic from Reddit. Now, so I'll go into the other two platforms. So our strategy was going into this client was, let's lay down the foundation. So let's lay down the foundations of Twitter. Let's lay down the foundations of Reddit. And then let's also lay down the foundation of Instagram, but not have to rely on going viral to produce traffic, to produce results. Going viral and building their brand through Instagram was an added bonus on top of the success from Reddit and Twitter. So going into Twitter specifically, I've made countless videos here on my YouTube. I mean, I can put them back up on the video here of my actual Twitter strategy itself. But going into Twitter, we understand our strategy. Our strategy works across all of our clients. And simply, all we had to do was allocate an account for this new client, which had about 15,000 followers. And from allocating that account to this client, since working together with her, we've now scaled this account to over 220,000 followers just with our strategy alone. And again, if you want to know more about that strategy, you can click, again, it will be up in this video on my channel about what our actual strategy is with Twitter. We understand Twitter is such an easy platform to use and such an easy platform to actually get traffic from. So from Twitter alone, we were averaging about 400 to 500 free fans a day, which was great. Now, the second platform is Reddit. Again, Reddit is similar to Twitter with a bit more complications and a bit more, you could call it, issues. Again, there's the shadow bans, ban waves, all of these things that are annoying for Reddit and affect Reddit. However, it doesn't mean that it's a bad platform. So with Reddit specifically, we made a few accounts for this creator, scaled a few accounts, had a lot of the shadow bans, but we consistently bought accounts and bought accounts and bought accounts to replace the accounts getting shadow banned. We had a massive list of subreddits, which we were posting in across a few accounts. And in most of these accounts, we were going at least to the top 1, usually to top 3 to top 5 in terms of in the hot section. And again, that was all from the Reddit team. We have a full, I wouldn't say necessarily automated, but a full division within our agency that covers Reddit. Same goes for Twitter, a full division that does the comments on our accounts, does the posts on our accounts, sorts everything out with our Twitter account. So the client didn't need to post anything. I primarily didn't need to post anything. And again, everything ran every single day, 7 days a week, without me having to focus on that specifically. Because like I said, these two platforms are great, don't get me wrong. And these two platforms took this client to about $80,000 a month in earnings. But the needle mover is brand and Instagram, because the thing with Reddit is it's very difficult to build a brand. Yes, if you have one big account that hasn't been shadow banned in a year or 6+ months, that's great. But again, the issues of Reddit, and me personally, I see more leverage on Instagram specifically. Twitter, great for building a brand, not as good when it comes to conversion and when it comes to sub quality, which is completely fine because at the end of the day, although people complain about sub quality from Twitter specifically, we were still able to generate 50,000 a month from Twitter alone. The last platform is Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, everyone loves to glorify it or only talk about Instagram. And yes, the reality is that once you understand Instagram and you understand going viral, that is the most important needle mover when it comes to success with any creator and any client. And our primary focus when it comes to the Instagram, because with Twitter content and Reddit content, to some degree, it's relatively easy to get good content. It's relatively easy to find good examples, and it's relatively easy to help your creator film these examples at a good quality. Now, when it comes to Instagram, there's a lot more moving pieces. And specifically with our marketing team, we were so focused on perfecting what it actually is that we can control when it comes to going viral on Instagram. So when it comes to outfits, when it comes to background, when it comes to Airbnbs, when it comes to niching down with her room specifically, We had to think of every possible angle, every possible thing that we can control as an agency to get this client success on Instagram. So our strategy and our roadmap when it came to Instagram specifically, there was a lot more moving parts. Understanding what content she enjoys filming, understanding what content she's good at filming, understanding how we can do that in a timely manner. So many factors go into actually having success on Instagram. And as an agency, with any client that you're working with, it is your responsibility to break down all of these problems and simply solve them one by one, problem after problem. And again, it wasn't necessarily easy with this client. It wasn't necessarily easy to instantly go viral. But how it looks easy is because the back end work from the team, countless calls, countless ideas, countless strategy calls with the marketing team, countless calls of understanding, let's try this, let's test this, let's do this better, let's execute this idea better. Because with Instagram, a lot of people like to basically just hope to go viral. And yes, you can easily do that. I've completely done that before multiple times. But actually analyzing your competitors, analyzing how you look at content, analyzing why content actually does good was our primary focus, specifically with this creator. Paying attention to every detail. When it comes to forcing your way to success, you could say, the easiest way is just paying attention to every detail and being a perfectionist with all these little metrics. Because we tracked everything and we looked at every single component of the video and week on week improved and improved and improved and improved. And as a byproduct of that, from making those improvements, from making those adjustments, slowly and then more quicker as it got on, her Instagram started to grow quicker, started to land million view videos, 1.5 million view videos, 5 million view videos, and keep growing and growing on the platform. And one of the things as well when it comes to Instagram, and I talk about this a lot with other agency owners specifically, is that Instagram as an algorithm like to reward you when you're actually consistently producing good content. And everyone loves to complain about their warm-up, complain about it's hard to go viral, complain about their account is shit, but they're simply not producing good content. And by far, if you were to take anything away from this video, understanding content and understanding why content goes viral is your best skill as an agency. It's something that I go through with the guys in the coaching. It's something I go through with our clients, with creators in our agency. Once you understand what are the key components of going viral, of good content, you're able to do that at scale and consistently. It's all good and well going viral on a one-off video, or all good and well going viral and not knowing why. But knowing why and doing that consistently is where you're able to actually bring and generate results consistently. And your job as an agency should be on having that skill. Again, you need to set yourself apart, have a better service than other agencies, deliver better results than other agencies. And you need to have a skill which is bringing traffic to your clients and delivering a good service. And the better that skill you have, the easier it is to scale. And again, if you guys want to know more about what I teach within my coaching and with my clients that I work with, you can click on my website, book a call with me, and I can go through more depth what specifically that I do, again, with my clients in my agency and also with the coaching guys that I help teach all these systems, all these infrastructures to actually scale your clients. But yeah, back to Instagram. By far, again, if you were to focus on one thing from this video, focus on the quality of your content and how you're actually able to do that consistently. And the easiest way is just have a look at your competitors. Have a look at why other models and other creators are going viral. And not just looking at it as at a face value, looking underneath the face value, analyzing the hook, analyzing the retention, analyzing the reward, and analyzing why you're even watching this content. Because the more you understand that, the more you're going to be able to replicate that success within your agency. Next part, so optimizing conversion rate for a free versus a paid page. So with this client, again, specifically, we like to utilize a paid page with a free discount on the main page. Not a free trial link, a free discount on the main page. What we were generating with that was on average about 500 subs per day. And with 500 subs per day, on average, we were averaging a month about $80,000 net. Now, that was great and that converted well, an average of $5 to $6 in LTV. However, when it comes to going viral on Instagram and adding Instagram onto that, what happened was our subs per day went from 500 subs a day to 4,000 subs per day. One day we actually done 8,000 free subs, which again, for the chatting team alone, was completely insane to manage. We had about 4 chatters on the shift, 4 chatters each shift, so 4 chatters, 4 chatters, 4 chatters, split into 8-hour shifts. And what we realized in that first day of actually going extremely viral is the transition from a free page, because again, we had it as a free trial discount, so we were still cleaning up on renews. We have a whole system in place to keep subscribers rebill on. The rebill price was at around $20. But the transition from then to a paid page, which we transitioned to doing about, again, from the free amount of subs per day to the first few days of the paid page, about 800 paid subs a day, then about 600 paid subs a day, and then averaging now about 500 to 600 paid subs a day. The transition to there was extremely pivotal for the chatting department, and which I'll go through now in a second. And understanding your conversion rate, understanding your LTV, understanding your metrics when it comes to your chatting is extremely important in knowing whether you should run a free page, run a free trial page, or run a paid page and with a 24/7 discount. And the transition to a paid page has been great to actually be able to handle this level of traffic. Next thing is the sales team. So again, it's all well and good going extremely viral or delivering a lot of traffic to your clients. However, the next problem you encounter is chatting and sales, because what works at low scale, let's say at a 10K a month account, the systems, the infrastructure, the team, all of that works at a $10,000 a month account is a whole different ball game at a $200,000 or $300,000 a month account. Whole different ball game, whole new and improved systems, and whole new and improved infrastructure, teams actually structure within the chatting department. So how do we actually go about this? So within our chatting, we have a head of sales, a head of the department, a head of sales when it comes to chatting, who has managers and assistants under him and under to help the chatters actually manage their shifts, etc., etc., etc. When it comes to actually each shift, so typically we require just 1 chatter per shift, would easily be able to handle the traffic, easily be able to net about $1,000 to $1,500 per shift on average. However, when it comes to increasing the traffic and increasing the amount of subs per day, the chatting per shift went from 1 chatter per shift to about 3 chatters per shift on average. So some shift does about 4 chatters, but again, on average, we average out to about 3 chatters per shift. And the beauty about Inflow has a feature where you can split inboxes. So what we utilized was the split inbox feature. So essentially each chatter was able to manage one specific inbox on OnlyFans. So again, helping to manage the traffic. Now, when it comes to the chatters on shift, that's great. However, when it comes to the actually setup of the account, we love to utilize a lot of the things that you get access to from the CRM. So with Inflow specifically, you have auto scripts, auto follow-ups, all these features that you can specifically use to speed up that time. Because when it comes to going viral traffic-wise, your hardest part now is keeping the average response time low and that unlock ratio or unlock percentage high. Because the higher your response time, the more chance the subscriber gets bored, moves to another page, moves on, or doesn't unlock your PPV content because you're too slow to send it. Which is why chatting assistants, our chatting managers, are hyper focused on making sure that those metrics are still kept the same, whether we need to assign a new chatter onto that shift, onto that account, to keep that response time low, to keep the quality high. Because quality control is our main focus when it comes to producing sales at scale. And again, as you can see in terms of the actual ratio, the actual sales, you can go back to the start of the video. If I go through here again, you can see how much of the earnings from subscriptions versus how much of the earnings were from messages and tips. Again, a bit skewed before because obviously it was a free page, but from moving to a paid page, you can obviously see as well. So when it comes to the sales, auto script, killer script. When it comes to your script, you really need to understand how to stand out with your script, how to have captivating script, understanding the hook between your script. Your job as all your customers when it comes to subscribers is hooking and keeping that attention as much as possible. The better you are at hooking and keeping attention as much as possible, the better retention you're going to get, the better spend you're going to get, the better LTV you're going to get. So if you were to take one thing from the sales side of things, focus on scripts that captivate attention, hook attention, keep them interested and retains their attention, and sets your creator or your page apart from all these other agencies. Another thing when it comes to the sales is mass PPV. So some people think mass PPV is terrible. Some people think mass PPV is great. Some people think it's in the middle and they don't have a system for it. When it comes to high traffic, mass PPV is by far one of the most important things that you can do and optimize on your page. And I'll pop up a picture here on screen of our actual analytics from this mass PPV that we sent out. We sent out a mass PPV for around $20 and got about 400 unlocked. So from one piece of content, from one message, we generated $8,000, which again, in most cases, most mass PPVs have a terrible unlock rate, have a terrible earnings, maybe caps out at $1,000, but it all boils down to the psychology and the hook between, your mass PPV. If you understand the psychology of your customers and your subscribers, you're able to consistently generate mass PPVs that generate $5,000, $10,000. And again, in this scenario specifically, with an $8,000 mass PPV, that is great, but we look at that as, okay, what do we need to optimize for the next mass PPV? And what do we need to optimize with the rollout, with the behind, the FOMO, the emotion that we create within this mass PPV? Because again, $8,000 adding to the weekly total, for example. However, $8,000 was actually generated in about 2 days of that mass PPV being sent and then unsent. Again, that adds over 15-ish% in terms of actual earnings for the week from that mass PPV alone. So again, when it comes to the sales, scripts are important, but your page management and running is also just as important. Your feed, your mass PPVs, having a personality to your page and having an actual landing page that makes the subscribers want to chat and actually want to talk to the model. That was the sales covered. Sales, again, main key points, mass PPVs, killer scripts, hooking their attention within your scripts. Marketing, understanding each platform, focusing on the content, perfecting your content with your clients. Onboarding, again, branding, strategy, onboarding, understanding the clear, broad brand of your creator and then going down different verticals within that branding. And when it comes to replicating this success, again, for your own agency or if you're a creator watching as well, you have to understand how to set yourself apart. The days of doing TikTok or doing Instagram and just simply doing a first trap, going viral and converting that traffic extremely well, in my opinion, are over. And you need to understand how to set yourself apart. And some creators do that visually, some creators do that with their ideas and their content, and some creators do that with their branding and their uniqueness. And there is so many key things that you need to look at with your own OnlyFans page or with your creator's OnlyFans page and see how do you set yourself apart. Because if you're able to set yourself apart from the competition and set yourself apart from all the other competitors, you'll be able to hit the heights of how much you can actually generate on the platform. And the ceiling gets raised more and more and more the better you are at content, the better you are at driving traffic, and the better you are actually doing that consistently. Because the main focus is quality, but also quantity. It's all good posting a shit ton of reels, a shit ton of content on Twitter, a shit ton of content on Reddit, but if your quality is shit, it's not going to do that good. However, if you focus on the quality, but do that at scale, you're able to consistently go viral, consistently generate traffic, and consistently scale your OnlyFans page. I hope you boys and girls, if you're watching, enjoyed this video. I hope there's a bunch of actionable steps from watching this video. Again, just because you've watched this video doesn't mean anything is going to change specifically. You would have to go through, analyze the actionable steps, and take action on them. Because that's what sets the better creators apart, the better agencies apart, is actually taking action on all the key things that are actually going to allow your agency or your own OnlyFans page to grow. If you're a creator watching this and you want to know more about my agency or know more about actually working with me, you can pop me a message on Instagram. I'll respond to you personally and I can get to figure out more about your situation and see how I can help. And if you're an agency watching this and you want to know how you can replicate this success for your actual clients yourself, you can book in a call with me. I'll go through my systems, I'll go through my infrastructure and show you what you need to apply within your agency in order to scale to this kind of level. Hope you boys enjoyed this video and I'll catch you guys in the next video.